So, because you haven't voted for this year's elections
Yeah.
and you'll vote in the next 5 years, what are the most important attributes that you look for in a leader?
I would say the most important attributes is honestly, if when I voted for presidents in Stuco, personally, I voted for the presidents who I could resonate with or I could maybe see them working as a president. And also their programs or what they're doing for Stuco later on that I could see and I support or that is aligned with Stuco itself. As with our president in maybe the next 5 years, I would say their attributes is I think more openly broad and openly minded and also discussing with us. I think discussing is such a important matter with the voters and we get to like see two sides of the story and not just one from the candidate itself. So yeah, I think more open to other people and more open with people's discussions and opinions.
Okay. So, from my last project, uh, my the person that I had a podcast with uh, stated that from this presidential elections, many of the communities sometimes think about their simpler needs compared to
Yeah,
what like the country actually needs.
yeah, true.
So and that makes like the actual best candidate not being able to be like the president, and the less better candidate, but they have control of these communities to be the president. So what do you think about that? And like, what do you think about that? And your opinions on it?
Yeah, I agree what you said. There was a lot of programs from the other candidates I would say that are really great and it's honestly supporting education and a lot of things that are beneficial for Indonesia's future. But then again, as you said, people sometimes have an eye on simpler needs. And I think it's because, again, people are sometimes direct and they're not like having discussions about it. Because if you're having discussions from like the candidates and the voters and the unprivileged people, I think they would like understand it better and they would know the issues and the topics and also the further programs that are actually beneficial for a future, like education and stuff like that. And yeah, it's quite a shame, honestly, if you're just seeing the simpler needs only. But I think as younger generations, we have a stance on saying those things more, and it's more powerful if we, team up together and just say it through Instagram, through anything. And yeah, I think a lot of people have been doing it right now, like standing their truths on, what they believe in. And yeah, I would just say just keep writing what you're writing or doing what you're doing because I guess it's better for our future and beneficial also for the politicians to hear us.
Okay. So during the current elections, more than 50% of the votes came back from the younger generations. So how important is it for you uh, as the younger generations for them to be aware of our nation's politics at this current stage?
I would say even if some of us aren't voting as of now, it's quite important for us to be known more about the presidential candidates and also politics in general. Me myself, I'm not going to go to a like law school perhaps, but I would get myself into a knowledge of like politics in Indonesia right now because more so our younger generation is going to be affected by the politicians who are going to be, president in the next 5 years or president now because we are like the 50% of like the voters, as you said, and that we're going to be the most affected within our jobs, our schools, our ideas, and more so less we need a leader who can like support us through it. And they're also the ones in control of our country, and we're just the, people in the country, but also our voices do matter. So I guess even if we're not the ones fully in control, our voices are still in control of that.
Okay. And so I'd like to ask, what do you take an inspiration from the 2024 presidential elections, and like, what do you think can be done for the younger generations to prepare ourselves for the next 5 years when we want to vote? What do we have to prepare in order to be ready to know, like, what makes a good leader, and understanding our politics, especially knowing that Indonesia is there's a percentage in Indonesia that is not as privileged and doesn't have a quality education to know these aspects.
I would say, whatever it is you're doing right now, I think it's important to just maybe scroll social media a little bit and just see informations through resourceful websites or social accounts per se. And I know that it might be hard because we're literally not that fluent in Indonesian and we might not understand. But there are several accounts that are in English, so we could read it in English per se. And I would say to get more involved or get to know more about like the voting is that just see like Stuco's environment or in your school's president environment and just see how people react to one another or see how people work together. I think it's a very good skill for us from high school and middle school to learn more about how presidency work or how we're supposed to be working together, and it will be beneficial for us to learn more about how it's supposed to be structured and how it is actually in real life, because actually at the debate Stuka has a lot of I would say rules for the debate and also the elections, and we have to follow those guidelines. However, in the presidential debate, I guess it is not what we expected, and it's a little bit not like Stuco's debate, I would say. So I guess from comparisons from like in Stuco and in real life, we could see kaya the differences.